This isn't a war. This isn't something that we're going to win.
Stop! Police, stop!
Because honestly, if we were looking at winning this, we'd have to be taking the fight to where the enemy is, which is across the border.
So it's untenable, it's not manageable, Border Patrol's overwhelmed. You know, this is something that's affecting the whole southwest border, but for us in Arizona, it's having a huge impact on Yuma County. The law enforcement authorities down there, the Sheriff's Department, an impact to the extent that they can't manage it in a way that they would want to.
They use situations like this where there's a surge of immigration, probably legitimate asylum seekers, to absorb the Border Patrol and our customs officials and absorb their resources, and then start shooting their illegal wares, the criminal aliens, up through the border.
What we do is we work with the Border Patrol, we work with the county sheriff, and we determine where we think the greatest threat areas are going to be.
Command Border 200.
Specifically, we know they'll be somewhere in the mountain range here. They move around. Obviously, they don't want to be caught. A typical day for this unit, the Border Strike Force, for the operation we're currently running, is we deploy about 20 hours of the day. We spend a pretty significant amount of time making traffic stops. So some of the major indicators that we look are for travel patterns, for stories that just don't make sense. It's inherently dangerous because the people that we deal with do not want to be caught.
We're not seeing the marijuana. We're not seeing those types of drugs. We're seeing methamphetamine and fentanyl primarily coming across the border here in Arizona right now.
We are seeing a serious uptick in the, at very least, possession of weapons by people that are involved in the cartel activities and the smuggling activities in the areas we operate in.
It's for a couple reasons. Number one, it's because of the increase in value and potency of the drugs that are coming across. But it's also that the cartels are in a kind of a constant state of war with each other. And there are what we call rip crews, or crews that will come and try to rip off both humans and drugs from these coyotes or from these smugglers that are bringing the drugs in. So it's become a much more violent game in Mexico. The cartels run their drug and their human smuggling operations very much like a business. And it's part of doing business to have law enforcement take a load of dope or a load of people. They kind of factor that into their cost of doing business.
In one seizure, we took down 30 pounds of fentanyl. Okay, so that's 30 pounds. That's roughly 5,000 pills a pound. 2 milligrams in one pill is enough to be fatal.
The fact of the matter is that it is so profitable, and there is such an appetite for illicit drugs here in the United States, as well as for cheap labor or sex trafficking. And it's something that we know that it gets through.
I'd love the policy makers to really understand the aspects of what's going on and the unintended consequences of the policies that are made.
When you talk about how do we keep our morale up, it's because we know that every single load we get, every single gram, every single ounce, every single pound of these drugs that we take off, that we stops them from getting into the hands of one of our kids. And we know that we have saved a life.